Hello and welcome back to Strangely Perfect, the Perfect Strangers rewatch podcast with me, Ray Stantz.
And I am Vigo, the scourge of Carpathia, the sorrow of Moldavia. On a mountain of skulls in the castle of pain, I sat on a throne of blood. What was will be, what is will be no more.
Would you please just do what you're supposed to do?
Fine. Today's episode is brought to you by Simply Safe. Their new security system is wickedly smart. And with their... Please, I beg you, don't make me do this anymore.
If you didn't want to do this, you should have thought twice about terrorizing the city and trying to possess people and, become a new reincarnated baby and all that creepy stuff. Now finish it.
Fine. $9.99 a month, new security system. I love it. I use Simply Safe.
You do?
Yes, it's wonderful. And that's all that's...
Okay, fine. Today, on Strangely Perfect, we're going to be watching a very special episode. Season 4, Episode 3, Aliens.
God help us all.
Oh, come on. It's a perfectly spooky episode. I think we're actually going to have a lot of fun. Let's dive right in with a synopsis.
Originally airing October 28th, 1988, with a Nielsen rating of 13.4, Episode 53, Aliens.
Larry braves a Halloween night horror movie marathon, but he awakens the next morning believing Balky has turned into a different kind of immigrant from another planet.
Oh, good Lord.
Co-producer James O'Keefe, created by Dale McRaven, written by Paula A. Roth, directed by Joel Zwick. Oh, we're in for a treat. Whatever Joel's on the case, you know it's a good one.
Why do you care? Why do you care?
There's also a special guest appearance by the incomparable Jo Mary Peyton France as Harriet Winslow, who you may recognize as, well, Harriet from Family Matters.
I actually do like that show a lot. I like Urkel.
What?
I like Urkel. I like Urkel.
Our episode starts in the basement of the Chicago Chronicle, all done up for Halloween. Larry's talking to somebody about what a great party they're going to have. He hangs up the phone and crosses someone off the list, and then, as the elevator opens, we see Harriet. But of course, we have a little bit of back and forth between Harriet and Lydia.
There's something about hair color and then typical sort of arguing.
Larry interrupts them, trying to bring it together, and then, great line, that's about as natural as AstroTurf. That's one of my favorites.
It's very, very humorous.
So Larry invites both the ladies to the Halloween party. But of course, Lydia says she doesn't like any holiday that condones wearing orange and black together.
Are we supposed to be laughing at this?
Yes! Of course, we all know Lydia's not going because she's chicken. Harriet, on the other hand, says she don't scare at all. But she still can't come because her mother-in-law's in town. Now, here's an interesting bit of trivia. She says, you think monsters are scary? Wait till you see the real thing. And we know that, in fact, her mother-in-law, Estelle from Family Matters, is a pretty frightening figure in the household.
Mother-in-law.
Yes, her mother... All right, we're going to have to do a completely separate Family Matters podcast here, Vigo.
Please, have mercy.
No, I don't think I will. And now, the peak of any episodes of Perfect Strangers, Balky's entrance. He comes in wearing a goat mask, and he's like, guess who it is, cousin? And Cousin Larry, he doesn't know, but I can't even get through this. But it's a pretty hilarious ghost mask. It's kind of creepy.
No, it isn't.
But,
No, it isn't.
Larry's like, oh, gee, I wonder who it could be. He
Terrible
knows
impression.
it's Balky. He knows it's Balky. Who else would it
Not
be?
funny.
But it ends up not mattering, because this is just my office costume. Oh, Balky. Anyway, he wants to know what's going on. Is he going to change into his Halloween outfit,
Right.
his real outfit for the party? And of course, Larry says, there is no real party. It's just going to be us and the girls. And then, it goes off the rails.
It doesn't really go off the rails, though.
Well, but then, of course, it's not a problem because they are still doing the horror movie marathon tonight.
Oh, how convenient.
Yeah, they're going to watch a whole bunch of horror movies. And then
Right.
classic Balky. Why would anybody want to watch horrible movies? Get it? Horrible instead of... He thinks horror and horrible.
I got it.
Oh, he's foreign. So, of course, Larry explains watching scary movies is the most fun part of Halloween. And they're going to do it together. And Act 1 is done.
I just want to interject here. The most fun part of All Hallows Eve is the desecration of all sacred lands and the sacrifice that must be made under the
Vigo.
moon of
No,
good...
no. I'll put you back in the basement. I'll throw that tarp right over you.
No, I'll be good. Oh, Act 1, how delightful.
So now we're off and running. The boys and the girls are watching a Halloween movie marathon in the basement. Cousin Larry dressed up like, well, Jason, kind of a knockoff Jason, not really totally on brand, but you get it. And then you've got Marianne and Jennifer, right?
Great.
Right? Marianne, of course, dressed as a stewardess.
Don't know
Jennifer
what
as
that
a
is.
witch, and Balky.
Not what witches look like.
Balky's dressed as a friggin' chicken. It's really rather adorable. I think this is one of the funnier sight gags in this season. Now, how they kept it up for this long is beyond me.
It is beyond anyone why this would continue.
So the girls decide it's time to leave. 6 hours of horror movies is enough for anybody.
Couldn't possibly hold a candle to this.
Of course, Marianne turns to Balky and says, "Thanks for a wonderful evening. How about a little peck?" And then because he's a chicken, he leans forward to give her a little, like an actual chicken peck.
Shocking wordplay.
The girls leave, and Larry laments, why would anybody want to leave before the best movie comes on, Invasion of the Body Snatchers? And of course, Balky's shaking in his boots. His chicken boots.
Because he's scared, yes.
Then we have a classic light switch bit. They want to watch the movie in the dark. Well, Larry wants to watch it in the dark. Balky doesn't want to watch it. He flips the light off, and Balky's like, "Don't do that." And then he turns the light back on, and they go back off, back on, back on. It's classic vaudeville physical comedy.
Hysterical.
This is the kind of stuff you don't see on a lot of other sitcoms.
I think you actually do.
I told you to watch it. I told you to watch the tone. Now, of course, Balky says he wants to leave. He's going to go to his bedroom to read The Little Engine That Could just to clear his thoughts.
Yeah.
And he shimmies away. It's really, really funny. Larry says, "What planet are you from?" Foreshadowing. That's really just good writing. Good classic writing. I love it.
It's fundamentally sound at the very least.
The next morning, Cousin Larry sneaks up on Balky. Wah! And Balky doesn't react.
Yes.
Then we've got Balky cooking some delicious cuisine from his home country. Of course, he and Larry are still talking. He's like, "What is that?" He tells him what it is. And then he says, "I thought we'd need some food to pack for a trip to Mipos." Larry, of course, is shocked.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, if we're going to do that, we need to pack our clothes. We need to coordinate." And then Balky blasts green lightning at the pan.
And I'll give them this. The special effect, it is decent. It's decent. I was convinced.
No, of course. And then, of course, it's a whirlwind of physical comedy. The kind of stuff that is genuinely hard to coordinate. It's one gag after another. They go back and forth. They're arguing about, whether or not he's trying to scare Larry, whether this is a whole, are you paying me back for scaring you? It's rapid fire. And, of course, he's like, "Oh, with what? Magic tricks?" And then, a mug slides into his hand. Larry opens the closet. There's a big seed pod. And then...
I just want to say, the seed pod looked cheap. That's all. You keep going.
Great joke. He's like, "Oh, we gotta go to work. What are you gonna do? Beam us over?" Balky says, "On my salary, afford a Beamer?"
A BMW, colloquially known as a Beamer.
And then he walks through the door. He phases right through the door like a straight up Class 3 free roaming vapor.
That's it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
That's sort of ghost jargon.
It's not jargon. It's a scientific term.
You keep saying that.
It's time for an ad break.
No.
Read it. Read it now.
Okay, all right. Casper mattresses. Their ultra-comfortable mattresses, pillows, and sheets are what you need to reset your rest.
Tell them about the risk-free trial now.
Okay. There's a 100-night risk-free trial. Don't overpay for sleep. Fast and free delivery. The #1 mattress in a box.
Risk-free. Risk-free.
Yes, it's risk-free. Use our promo code BabyLovesBalky 1988 for an extra 20% off.
Offer not valid in some territories. All terms and conditions may apply.
Now back to the episode.
So as we return from commercial break, you'll find out...
Oh no,
that's
the alarm.
Yes, okay, sorry folks. That's the Ghostbusters official alarm. Looks like we got one. Wink, wink. We're going to have to wrap the episode up here. Look forward to part 2 sometime in the near future. And as always, don't be a stranger.
Unless it's a perfect one.